Let me stand as the balance of protocol as established already. I'm afraid I don't have a prepared speech for Kano. I don't think I need one. I have been taken round. Some governors have dared to invite me to go to their state. Lagos, Kogi, Kano, and before I came here, my own state, Kano State. And I'm very impressed with what these governors have done, with what is available to them. I know as Nigerians we are very forgetful, especially of good things. When we came in 2015, people have forgotten that out of the 17 local governments in Borno State, only about 4 are in the hands of government. The rest are with Boko Haram. Half of the next state, Yobe State, was in the hands of Boko Haram. And what is Boko Haram? It's very, very fraudulent. Who said Boko is haram? It's very, very fraudulent. And I suspect there must be a strong international group that wants to destroy Nigeria. Otherwise, how can Boko Haram come and stop us from prospecting and development for petroleum in Lake Chad Basin? But we have managed to show Nigeria and the rest of the world that Kolmani, you know, we have so many billions of crude oil and gas there. But our intention, I was a minister of petroleum when I was in the military for 3.25 years, was to go to Chad Basin. When we established there, then we go to Sokoto Basin, because the geology showed that those basins have got petroleum deposits. But really, we have to pray harder and thank God. I believe, in spite of our population, in spite of our land, there are still countries, I think, that are determined to destroy Nigeria. But we are very lucky in this government that at our weakest point, which was the Chad Basin, we had a very competent governor in Borno State. That governor is doing extremely well. I'm pleased he is young and intellectually sound. So I had one very funny story somebody told me, and I would like to keep his name to myself, that a permanent secretary was still relaxing in his bed at 7 in the morning. And somebody called him and said, "The governor is in your office." And I think I don't think he wore his shoes. He just doubled to his office and begged the governor to spare him. I was a governor in Kano State for 7 months. I know what it was. It's potentially very rich. And when I became the head of state, if you could recall, I went to Chad, I went to Niger, I went to Cameroon, because establishing neighborhood on personal and national level is extremely important. If you are not in good books of your neighbor, personally or internationally, you are in trouble, because it will cost you much more materially and then security-wise if you are not in good book of your neighbor. So good neighborliness is very important. Ladies and gentlemen, Your Highnesses, I thank you very much There is nothing the governor hasn't told you. All I will say that I am very happy for what I have been able to do, especially in the second term. In the first term, 2003 to 2011, I visited all the local governments in this country. Between 2011 and 2019, I visited all the state headquarters. And I was very grateful to Nigerians. The people who turned out to see me across the country are more than what anybody can buy or force, which means Nigerians, I have been very lucky. They have understood me, that I identified with them, they identified with me, and I have been doing my best. And I would like you to recall, I want you to check, those who have any doubt, in the central bank and in NNPC, between 1999 and 2019, the average production was 2.1 million barrels a day, average production, at the average cost of $100 American per barrel. So Nigeria was earning $100 times 2.1 every day for those years. But look at our infrastructure. The roads, some of them since PTF roads. Look at our power. We are still having problem with power. Which country can advance without infrastructure? But those who were in charge in those years, they were going around not only Nigeria but the world, giving the impression that they are wonderful. But they cannot explain this money. When we came, the militants in the South was unleashed on the government or on the country. Production went down to 500,000 barrels a day. And we were unlucky, the cost of petroleum went down to $37 a barrel from 100. I want those that could to check with the central bank and the NNPC. But in spite of that, look at what we have been able to do in infrastructure. The governor mentioned some of them. I assure you that we have a wonderful country. I have been a governor, I have been a minister, I have been a head of state. My qualifications are many, and I have been in detention. So really, there is nothing anybody can tell me, whether it is enjoying or suffering. I have gone through it. And during the civil war, virtually I walked from Makadi to the end of Nigeria. We have a great country, but we don't appreciate it maybe until we visit our neighbors or other countries and see the preoccupation is for people to have one good meal a day. But Nigerians know it's very good I am flying by helicopter. The amount of high-rise buildings I am seeing, the amount of developments on the ground, they are fantastic. We thank God. We thank God. We thank God. Please, I know this is a combination of elite. Please try and work on our youth, that whether we, older people, like it or not, we are going to leave the country to them. And they must have education for education's sake. Technology has made it possible for shortcuts, but nothing can replace real learning. So please persuade the children to learn. If you can't afford to pay their school fees, encourage them privately somehow to keep on learning. I thank you very much for coming. I thank the Kano State government. for this long visit. I congratulate the governor for the performance. I have seen it. They said seeing is believing. Thank you very much. And I promise when I finish, God willing, 29th May, I'm going to Daura. And I'm pleased the governors of Kano and Kaduna, on my way to Kaduna, they have built both the underground and above ground driving facilities. I wouldn't have to come and say, please, I have to wait into the long line for vehicles to pass. You have done very well in infrastructure. The governor of Kaduna State, the governor of Kano State, you have shown me what you have done. I said Lagos, Kogi, I have all been invited. I have seen what the governors are doing. I thank you very much. Thank you very much.